Festival of Chimes and Lights Committee meeting Monday, November 1st. We're going to get started right away with an update on the event application.
So we submitted the application to the council last meeting, which was
Last Tuesday.
Yeah, last Tuesday. And they approved the road closure. And so I am working with Public Works and the third-party vendor to design a traffic control plan, as well as the cost to provide the certified flaggers. So Public Works and the third-party vendor have communicated on what their responsibilities of their roles are for this closure. And so I'm just waiting to hear back from the third-party vendor, trying to get everything finalized. Once I get the traffic control plan from the third-party vendor, then I will take that along with the completed, either the application that was presented to the council, or if there's a revised one as far as activities, that application as well as the traffic control plan will be presented to the police chief. And then the chief will look at those and determine basically that it meets public safety standards, and will give me the official letter. And for most of you, I think Sharon's probably the only, well, and Chris and Kathleen know that before we can approve an event, we typically get memos or confirmation of an email from all the departments and their comments. So this is the same process with Chimes and Lights that I do for the other events. So we're waiting for the police department's comments. I believe I had all the other departments, meaning Transit, Health District, Public Works, and then before police can complete their comments, they need that traffic control plan. So I suspect I could probably get it probably end of next week. So Chief's out this week, which would give the third-party vendor to get their stuff done. Chief stuff next week, and hopefully by the third week in November, we'll get the official approval. So, but I do not see any, obviously the council approved the road closures, and from what I understand, I don't see that there's any safety concerns from the police department on administering this event. There might be some, I've heard some conversation about public gatherings. So as far as the road closure and the public safety and traffic control, he has no concerns over that. There has been some, let's see. There has been some concerns based on last month's meeting. I think it was last month's meeting, maybe last meeting, about creating crowd control. So as long as there isn't anything that's creating crowd control, to have volumes of people to be downtown outside of the cars mingling, then the police chief has no concerns with approving this event. So that's what I know so far. I know it's a lot.
It's tricky.
It is.
It's tricky because we're weeks out.
Right. And so the agenda where it says canceled and
canceled.
Janine took the regular agenda, because those are always on there or have been. And so for our clarification of so we can communicate correctly to the police department, is what events are happening or what other organizations are doing that day of the event. I told her, based on her knowledge of the happenings of attending the event, because she's the one that's, the lead of this project, to tell me what it is that she knows for sure that is not happening. And if there's, if it changes, that's great. Just let me know so I can get this updated. And if there's additions or, let me know and I can get this updated and sent it off to the chief. Or update the application for the application to go to the chief.
Okay, so we've pretty much gotten rid of anything that would attract crowds. Yeah. And so there should be no issue there. The big thing is this whole thing with the vendor. I mean, do we kind of have somebody ready to go, or
yeah, it's the same one that it's TCE. I don't know if anybody's familiar. I don't know if Sharon and Well, Chris and Kathleen, I don't think you had any involvement in that. Let me see who else is on here. No. So it's the same one that's done the Sharon, maybe. I don't know. Is that who you contacted, TCE?
No, I contacted RCE.
Oh, maybe that's
RCE off of Sedgwick. And when I read the council notes on what I printed out, I was absolutely in shock that they were charging $6,000 for such a short closure, when RCE gave us a quote on the high side of $6,100 for the grand parade, and we cover a whole lot more avenue than you guys do.
It's
so
RCE.
Based on that, I would go to RCE if you want another quote.
I'm sorry, that's who it is from, RCE.
See, that blows me away, because I sent them our parade map and they came back with that quote of $6,100, and you're getting a quote of $6,000 for just a short little teeny distance. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, well, I don't necessarily think it's because when I looked at it, the plan itself, $600, $700, whatever. So you have to create that plan, and then that plan you can use each year. Every year you can create, all you have to do plan that plan every year, as long as nothing changes.
Right.
So
they told me it was $350 just to do the plan.
Right.
And then everything else, the 6,100 was on top of that. But compare apples to apples, the parade route versus this route is so much smaller.
Yeah. And I don't know, other than Public Works thoroughly looked over that quote and said, okay, we're going to handle some of the stuff. So it's probably going to be significantly reduced, just because we have our own signage. We have basically, that's what it's coming down to, is that we have our own signs that we can use that meet the state standards. And so we don't need them to provide that. What we need them to provide is bodies.
But 6,000 is still a big chunk.
Yeah.
For such a little area.
But I think, well, yeah, if it's all the same side roads that are closed, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
I can't speak to that because I'm not in that industry and I'm not in that field. And maybe that's just their minimum. I don't know. And I think Ginger's, if I remember correctly, I'll have to go back and look at hers. She does the Yukon Do It Marathon, and that's who we got this. That's who I reached out to. And I think that's who I might have given you, or maybe Ginger. And you know, that's the price, and maybe that's just their minimum. I don't know.
I would go back and compare my quote that I got that's in my LTAC packet, and just look at that very thoroughly and compare it to what you're doing for the city.
Okay. I'll give that to Public Works and have them look at it and see if they see anything that's odd.
Okay.
So that said,
Mm-hmm.
we kind of have to have an idea if we can move forward or not. And because we have so little time. My big concern right now is, how would we let people know? How would we let the public know that we are going to still have some kind of event with a traffic pattern, a drive-through only? How would we be able to let everyone know that in time?
Well, it's my understanding you can advertise it now. You can design the map. You can do however you want. That's going to show the traffic flow of the event.
I don't have the traffic flow.
Is only for it has. I mean, I guess you could use that plan, and I know that we presented a plan as part of the packet that our Public Works engineer, I'm not sure what his title is, but that created the flow of the map just for internally. And that's a great map that you can, I guess, maybe put on a flyer or a brochure and just described what it is. But I don't know that we necessarily are needing anything from that third-party vendor to communicate to the public that this is a drive-through event and you start here and you end here, and just a reminder that this direction is only one way. I think you just have to present it in your materials to them, but nothing.
Okay, Brandy. I don't even know what I have for a budget. So here's the deal.
Okay.
We haven't really spent anything other than whatever your staff has spent, which I won't know how much that is. The $6,000 for traffic control wasn't figured in.
Right.
And as far as advertising, I mean, that could be quite a lot of money. I don't even know how much I would have for advertising.
So as far as the budget, it's my understanding that as far as the utility billing piece, The mayor had recommended that we do not go to that route. We were under a short timeline. We didn't move forward with that aspect of it. Doesn't mean that we can't do something different now with the remaining funds. The council has authorized the road closure, which means they support this event. They also acknowledge that this is an additional unbudgeted expense. So that road closure plan, traffic safety plan is going to be outside of what's currently budgeted. So we have spent no money. We have spent hardly any money. From admin staff. I do know that Public Works has probably spent a little bit. They usually do every year or will be every year for their normal. I think we gave them authorization for the extension cords. So that might be in there, zip ties. So there's just some minor normal routine expenditures that probably have already done just as part of the tree decorating, but as the advertising and the brochure, all of those funds are still there and available for use.
By the end of this meeting, Brandy, do you think you could give me a figure for what that would be?
Or like what
figure
the fund balance is?
Yeah.
Or the budgeted amount, I'm sorry.
The advertising budget that I would actually have then. So, okay, given all this with everyone here, we're weeks away, we're about a month. What we're talking about is a traffic controlled one-way. Well, it's actually almost two-way. Brandy, could you put up the map if you have that? Could you do a screen share and show the map? This is what they've come up with. We were talking about maybe a one-way, but there's an entrance into both sides of the city. We were talking about a time frame of 5 to 8 o'clock on the 4th. And Brandy's going to look for the traffic pattern. So it would look like there'd be entrances from both sides and pretty much just a slow moving line of traffic coming down from one side, Bay Street, turning onto Sydney, going past the library and then into the parking area in front of the whole port. And I'm not sure where the turnout would be. Is probably, we'll see that on the map in just a minute here. But re-entering back onto Bay and then using the boat launch parking lot to kind of turn around again and have traffic control headed back towards Sydney again. Do you have it, Randy?
Okay, so this map is what was one, presented to the council, and two, this is what Public Works said, hey, this is our understanding of the traffic flow and what this event is about. And then we submitted this to the third party as well as some comments of what we're going to be doing. So this here, so all of this here is just the rerouting of the traffic flow because we want them, so here is where they're going to have those reader boards that says, hey, if you don't want to participate in this downtown event here, then you have several options to exit to get out of there. Because once you get to here, you're going through it. And then same with here. Once you get to this point here, you have to go through it.
Right.
And then here's where all the barricades are going to be. But anyway, so traffic flow. Yeah. So here's the traffic flow of it.
So
prettify or beautify, whatever you want to call this image here to make it more appealing and put it on a map. We can put it on a flyer, put it on our website. I can probably have Janine work on something like this, or you can even take this design. I think it's a PDF. We can even send this off to Sound Publishing or Kids Up Sun, whoever normally does our brochures or whatever, and see what the cost is to implement this instead of the list of activities. That's just an option.
Right. Okay. So that said, we are still working on then. Oh, say good. So what we won't have to do is close down the parking lots on the waterfront, the 3 and 4 parking lots. And the traffic would just be slow moving, slow, steady moving, basically coming into town and then just keep moving towards the waterfront. Where did it go? The overlay part.
For people just coming through town generically who don't really want to go with the flow of the traffic to go by and see the lighted information that we have for them, where do they go? Do they have to automatically turn right regardless?
Yes.
They would go either, they could go up, is it Rockwell? Or they could go out.
So there would be a detour time for them if they're going through town.
Or Port Orchard Boulevard.
Okay.
So either of those two, and that would be a span of about 3 hours. The tree would be lit just before that opening. And we'd have just, there we go. There's the overlay. So
Yeah, so these will remain.
they would be
open
actually driving
because of
by the
transit.
lighted, decorated trees. Yeah, all of those lots would remain open, and transit, Kitsap Transit will be able to make their routes through without any kind of problem. So the traffic control will be helping people cross if they're crossing, and directing traffic at those various points where traffic would re-enter onto Bay, come out of the boat launch parking lot and circle back around, and then up can exit Sydney.
Mhm.
But actually can exit back out Bay again as well.
Yep.
So
Yeah, we can go here and go out that way, or loop around and do it again on this side for the people that came this way.
So you know, it's a stab at trying to have something or reduced to not very much, as you all know. We've all been running into this all year. But I think it's worth the try. I really do. And we've gone pretty far with it. We are kind of down to the wire with those last approvals. But if Brandy's saying that we can go ahead, that is looking pretty sound, then I think we should go ahead and try it. Does anybody have any comments to add right now regarding any of this, the route, the timing, any of that? No?
Cindy, are those parking lots going to be closed for people parking?
These will be open.
Uh-huh.
These, I think, will still be open because we're still using the main.
So people could be parking and then trying to back out.
Yeah. That's why it's probably going to be important that our signs here and whatever we communicate, that once you enter any part of this, you're in it. We could close those. Does he have them listed?
I think
We
that
could
1 and
close
2 are,
those.
I think 1 and 2 are closed.
See, here is where he's got closed for sure. So, because of the route. So I think we need to have him update the map to close those, because transit doesn't need this. Transit only needs Sydney, correct? Because that's why
Right.
we're not closing these.
Yes,
because
right.
transit-
And
if
I
transit comes
think
out-
that actually the lots could be open on the south side. Lot 1 and lot 2 could be open on the south side, but not on the north side. Because the north side will be where the displays are and the traffic is going through. And we would want to have traffic backing into that long
fixing
line.
them there.
Yeah, that would be a mess if that side was open. I'm just thinking of pedestrians walking to their car.
Yeah. Yeah, we that has to be closed. And I
No.
think at the last meeting, we actually did talk about those lots being closed.
So this half and this half will be open, and then this half and this half is gonna be closed.
Yes.
Okay. That way,
Everybody else-
that way I can have them shade half and half.
Yeah, don't close the part closest to Market and the Myries, because you won't be using that,
Maybe.
right?
No, yeah, those
So
will be
that way there'll
open.
be at least some parking there.
Corinne, they'll be open.
Okay.
All of
Okay.
this. will be open.
Yeah. I think if we just close the top half, which is the north half of those lots, which would allow for that traffic pattern to just keep going through, then there should be no issue with leaving the south half of those lots open.
That's good.
Kathy, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a concern. Lot 1 looks like the marina tenant parking, and
yeah.
we have those first 3 rows, and I don't see those being closed.
Yeah. That's true.
I see.
I mean, I'm happy to post signs letting the marina tenants know what's going on. But if you guys are talking about closing up any of that parking, I need to talk about, where they're gonna be able to park if they need to be relocated.
So Kathy, is there a possibility with letting people know that they could park there, but there would be that period of time when they couldn't move their vehicle?
I don't know that we have liveaboards and I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I have to think about it because this is something that I hadn't considered.
Yeah.
So I want to talk to my director, but it's not something we counted on having any of our parking closed down.
Okay.
And that's the first 3 rows. That 4th row is the cities.
Now,
But you'll be driving right in the middle of row 2 and 3, which would affect the parking.
Kathy, what about switching that to have that traffic go right in front of the office there instead of going?
I like that better, actually.
I do too, and I'm not sure that I paid attention because I was assuming that was going to happen, and I did not look closely enough on this map to see that it
But
divided.
I mean, I think maybe we could say no parking in row 1 closest to the office. And then we utilize the city's row 4, so they still have their 3 rows of parking.
Yeah.
And then it gives you an open flow.
Right, and I think actually I was making the assumption that that was going to happen. I really did not look closely enough on here to see that it was doing that. So Brandy, when Public Works, when we present this, we just need to change that a little bit to have the traffic pattern go right in front of the marina office and then down.
And then I'll post notification and emails to everybody that they can't park in row 1, but they have city permission to park in 4 without getting ticketed, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That would
Yes, and we'll note that for Public Works. I don't think we're ticketing on a Saturday night anyway, but yes, that's the only way we'll be able to do that. Mhm.
Yeah, so we'll have to put cones up in row 1 or some kind of festive barricades so that people don't park in that first row.
Right, okay. And yeah, I don't think that diversion is going to make any difference at all for the rest of the plan as far as changing the safety issues or any of that. It just makes it safer, actually.
I agree.
By doing that.
Keeps traffic away from the sidewalk. Yeah.
Yeah. And then see, there'll be traffic control when that traffic comes back into bay and then moves into the boat launch to come back around. So there'll be little points, but it's supposed to just be slow moving traffic. And if people wanted to repeat it, they could literally just go back Sydney and then repeat the whole little pattern again if they wanted to. I think it's just worth a try. I mean, we don't have any clue how many people would participate. It's just totally new. There's not a lot of time to let people know, but some people will just join the party whether they want to or not, kind of, once they get down there. We'll have their attention. They'll see, but you know what? It's not like anyone would be stuck forever. It's not that long of a distance. And I think what happens then is the merchants can be open. I don't think there's any issue at all, of course, with merchants being open, and everybody can just keep doing their business and all of that. And, as far as crowd gathering, I mean, Corinne can have as many people as she usually has in her eatery. And the library closes usually at what?
On Saturdays, we close at 4.
So the library would be closed. So there's no gathering there, and we've canceled. I mean, everything else, there's hardly anything to have a gathering about. What I'm not sure of, you guys, is would people be disappointed in having this slow moving pattern and not seeing more? I don't know. But I've always thought that it's just so beautiful, what we're doing with our downtown, with the trees, and this kind of slowdown to be able to enjoy the trees more. All the windows will be decorated, on Bay Street, the merchants decorate the windows, and we'll just do as much as we can. Although today, did you see that there was another planter destroyed?
When?
Yes, Kareem, it was right in front of your place. Planter number 51. It had to have been, I'm guessing, last night, because Public Works sent a photo today. Brandy, do you have that photo by chance?
Too bad. I think my planter's 48 or 49.
Okay. Yep.
But speaking of which, I actually am muted. I mean, I know you can't really change this, but I think there might be some people that are disappointed there's not going to be that slow all the way down to the end of those, to see the rest of the planters, was what I'm trying to say out.
No, that'll be slowed down. Traffic will be slowed down all of Bay Street.
Don't you have them turning on Sydney?
Oh, you mean on the way out, coming in from the other direction?
Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. It's not that big a deal. It's just that, yeah, I mean, they're not gonna, but the planters, the trees are up for weeks.
They have the option of, most people we feel are probably gonna enter, north, south, east, probably from the east side, Kareem. In fact, I didn't even plan for a west entry. That was something that I think Public Works came up with. So the east entry will take everyone by all of the planters. And that'll be slow traffic, probably moving from really Harrison and beyond. That'll all be slow moving traffic. So they'll be able to see all of the planters there. And the people entering from the west side nearer City Hall will have the option of still moving forward straight and going down Bay Street. Oh, here it is, you guys.
So, oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Planters
I
down.
know, like
that too?
Somebody just knocked over.
someone, we don't know what happened. I mean, that Public Works just took that photo and sent it today. So the trash can was over. This planter here, the nearest one to the trash can, is number 50, and it can be salvaged, but number 51 is destroyed. So we lost another planter. It's crazy.
Well, that's too bad. So I'm also confused because you said this picture was today.
Yeah, it must have been last night, probably Halloween night.
That would make sense. It's just that I thought all the planters got cleaned out yesterday. I drove through town, didn't notice anything going on that side, but all the other planters I saw Bill putting trees in them this morning.
It was actually taken, it was sent to Janine on Friday, October 29th. So it actually
Okay,
happened
so
Friday
it was.
morning.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So I was under the impression it just happened. Okay. Okay, so Corinne, you're right. That happened on Friday then.
Well,
Okay.
You probably have those ones already sponsored. You're gonna have to shift around now.
That particular one was not sponsored.
Yeah, 51 hadn't been sponsored yet.
Okay.
But we may be able to kind of spread those out a little bit carefully. We'll have to see. We lost another one just several weeks ago over by on the bistro.
I know. Most of all that ended up.
Or I can wait till you get it up and running and then schedule. Do you know when it will be available?
They're dropping like flies, you guys.
Oh, okay. Well, would it be possible for you to call me back?
Oh, that's Rita. Okay. So we'll just adjust. And so that one thankfully didn't have a tree in it yet. I know.
No, it's not an issue for me.
So this is kind of like ho, 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 Merry Christmas, right? Oh, how do you make anything fun? I don't know. So really, I think in order for the police. Hey, Rita, can you mute? Larry, can you mute Rita? We're hearing her conversation.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't know it carried it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're hearing
Okay.
your conversation. So
You heard that? Oh my gosh, I apologize.
That's okay. Okay. So anyway, if we can just keep moving forward with this, then there'll be the lighted tree, there'll be the port, there'll be Kitsap Bank. You can still hear the area in front of 640 Bay and the open lot, across from Josephine's. It would be nice to still try to get something there. I was thinking of even contacting the Saints Car Club and finding out if they could decorate the old fire truck or something and have it there just for something else in that space. Or if anybody has any ideas. This is such a, I don't know what to call it. Oh boy. So
I'm doing the best that we can.
That's really it. And it, I at this point, I'm just still kind of going, is it worth it? Is it worth it?
The drive-through could turn out to be a lot of fun. Even people that weren't expecting it since it's not going to be terribly time consuming. It could be different and fun and unexpected for those who didn't know, and something to look forward to for the rest of the community. So. Right. And I do think, the big concern the police chief has is no gatherings. So we'll refrain from anything that looks like gathering, but all of the merchants down there can do their own thing, kind of, right? No?
Yeah. I mean, as soon as you have some kind of graphic or image or visual or something like that, we'll share it with the downtown merchants with the language you want us to use about what's going on. So I was starting to say you might check with Samantha Smith too, because her parents are very involved in some of the antique auto clubs.
Oh.
So I just booked us to go to Hawaii for a week. So I'm gone that Saturday, sorry. But you might be able to, contact Saints Car Club or Sam. You might be able to get something down there in those lots.
Right.
I don't know that.
Yeah, and I thought
Kitsap Bank
Go ahead.
may want their lot used, so.
And I would definitely ask them about that, if that was something that they'd be willing just to have, or even some decorations in there, just something. Thanks, Brandy.
They might do that. Somebody should make it a Christmas tree lot and sell Christmas trees. Yeah.
You know what? Except that it would gather crowds. That's a good idea.
But what difference does it make? They're going to gather at another Christmas tree lot. They're gathering at Walmart. They're gathering at Costco. See, yeah, no, I got to shut up.
I know.
Because the gathering is taking place.
I know. The only thing is,
Cindy, can you drive into that open lot across from Josephine's that's fenced off?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's Kitsap Banks, and I'm not sure.
I don't know if there's a gate on there anywhere or not, if it's just fenced solidly out the whole way across, or if those things can be lifted. I'm not sure. I'd have to check.
Off. So
is it?
Yeah. We had looked at that for night markets, and they weren't real crazy about letting us use it for that. So I don't know. You could check with them. That was months ago.
Yeah. Okay.
The reason I ask is because I'm trying to capitalize on doing something down there. And if they would let us park our float in that gravel lot as the cars come around that corner, then we could have Santa on our float with our court.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
you
should really talk to Kitsap Bank about that, Sharon.
I could do that. Otherwise, you know, Santa's got to be up in that high thing, and I haven't contacted this Jack that Bob gave me his name of or anything else, because I didn't want to go anywhere with it until we had a solid plan. And I just feel sorry for Santa sitting there all by himself with nobody around him.
Yeah, where were you gonna put him at?
On the sleigh that the port has. And Kathy was
Actually,
going to check it.
Sharon, I looked into that, and Brian said it's not built for that he wouldn't be able to sit on that. And
Then
they're
we could have
gonna be putting
Santa.
that sleigh over at the boat launch.
Oh, okay. We can have, so Santa would be over by the boat launch then.
Yeah, but he can't be on that sleigh. That's what
Okay.
Brian was saying, that he didn't think that would be able to support somebody up on it.
You could
Okay,
put
well, so
Santa
then
in
we-
that gravel, you could put Santa in the gravel lot by Soul Nutrition, the city owned one. That could be what's there. Santa.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I think the bank would consider something for their lot too, but not where people are coming in and out so much.
Yes, yeah. Okay, well, that's what we'll have to be working on this week, is to just try to find something for those two places.
And then they would only, if you do put Santa in that 40 lot, just as a reminder that you're only going to be able to see him on that one way, right? Because the other side of the road's closed. So people that are going this way, I'm directionally challenged. So the ones that are coming from City Hall and heading to Sydney, that's the only chance they're going to see Santa. So if they decide to go around, right, they're not going to be able to see him.
The traffic heading east.
Okay.
We'll see
When we
Santa.
originally set up the float downtown and waved at cars as they came by, it was parallel to the corner just across from the CrossFit place. We originally set it up there. So anyone coming that way would be able to see the float and Santa on the float.
Well, Sharon, I like the idea of the float.
I have a board meeting tonight. I'll run it by them.
Okay.
So everything hinges on who's available, because it takes a minimum of 2 hours to put it up and tear it down.
Okay.
What are the hours of this anyways, Cindy?
I'm sorry, what, Green?
What hours are we doing this drive-through thing?
5 to 8.
Okay.
5 to 8. I don't know how much more time they would need for getting the road ready. Brandy will find that out probably really soon with this plan.
You know, I mean, what would really be nice, and this is difficult if the weather's bad.
Yeah, if the weather's bad, our float won't go out in it.
if you know, I mean, you can do some tinting, but you've always had the singing groups, the musical groups, the choirs. I mean, people can hear music as you're driving by too. So
Chief doesn't want it.
Yeah, the concern with that is that if you have, you know, a marching band, or you have any choirs, the problem is that although we're not wanting people to gather, they will, because they want to see their grandchild, they want to see their niece, they want to see their nephew, they want to come down and watch, and we don't want to encourage that. That's his perspective.
Right. The chief said we couldn't do that, even though we were hoping to. So he won't sign off on it if we have plans like that. So, you know, we're just trying to do the best with what we can. And I just think, okay, you know what, let's try this. Let's see if how it works this year. It's kind of a guinea pig experiment. You know, I have no idea if this is something that'll be incorporated into the event in the future, or if COVID's going away, or any of this stuff. I don't know any more than any of us do. Would there
be any way to incorporate a food drive into this, with like just not a gathering, but one person like at the boat launch with a box, a toy, or a food drive that people can drop stuff off?
No.
It's stopping traffic to do that.
Well, that's what I said at the boat launch.
I like the idea, but I know the chief would have an issue with.
Yeah.
Encouraging them. Yeah, we used to do it all the time for Chimes and Lights. We used to have the big blue buckets at City Hall all month long, and then we even had them come in and bring them years ago. This is like 2009, 10-ish. Yeah.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of great ideas floating around, and you know, the chief has made it pretty clear what he just won't tolerate. And anything like that leads to he doesn't feel comfortable signing off on it. So we've gotten it down to the things he's comfortable with, and it's pretty much you know, just having that traffic keep moving. All the private business owners and such, that's the rest of it's all their deal with their customers, but we're not involved in any of that. But I do think if we keep those lots open in the back like that, and we've got traffic management, you know what? I doubt that we'll have, you know, thousands and thousands and thousands of cars coming through. I just doubt it, because this is so new, and it's going to be very hard for us to get the word out to everybody. So, you know, what we have down on the event application is this is maybe going to be 500 people, 500 cars. I have no idea what it's going to turn into.
I'm not a citizen of Port Orchard, but I guess I would feel that I don't think that 6,000 is a good steward of the taxpayers' money for 500 people coming through in cars.
Well, we're talking 500 cars filled with kids and stuff. So you multiply out, and we use that number because this is brand new. And for any new event, you never know.
Do you have something in the plan for counting the vehicles? Somebody to count the vehicles, get an accurate?
We're sure going to have it.
Yeah.
We don't have it necessarily.
Control plan.
Yeah, we'll have to have it.
I'll follow up with that though, just to confirm.
Yes.
And I don't know about 500. I saw this trunk or treat event this weekend at Bimart. I don't know if anyone else happened upon that accidentally, but it was a madhouse. I mean,
was it?
Yeah, I would say easily 500 cars. I mean, the traffic was backed up. There were, you know, I don't know how many people went through there, but it was a big thing. And I think it's just kids lining up to get candy from different like booths. So I don't know, but I feel like there's a pent up need for stuff to do.
I suspect that they'll have the police drones out. They had the police drones out for the cruise, and that's how they were able to determine the estimated number of people. So I suspect they will do the same thing. So whether traffic control plan,
yeah, that was just a crapshoot, you know, putting that number out. Plus that we just don't know. It won't be all at once though. Given that it's over a period of time, I think we won't have all of the traffic all at once. And actually, Kathleen, I agree with you. Last night we went through the McCormick Woods area, and I've never seen so many cars parked both sides of everywhere. I don't know how many trick-or-treaters there were out there, but I mean hundreds and hundreds. It was just crazy. So, you know, that's a good problem to have. If we were to have a lot of participation, and it, you know, it's what Chimes and Lights is kind of about, is just bringing people together to see the tree and everything. It's our attempt to do something. And, you know, Sharon, I agree with you. You know, we're trying to be really good stewards, but Brandy said that actually Public Works was going to be handling quite a bit of it. So that 6,000 figure will go down substantially, because we've already got signage and things that they were quoting on the whole deal that Public Works will actually be doing, even though the police aren't going to be doing traffic management. So, you know, and the event generally costs quite a bit of money. And do the taxpayers feel that that's something worth doing or not? We have, as a committee, thought it was worth doing over these years. So we're just giving it a try. I actually think it'll be beautiful. And it's just that, you know, it just makes me quite nervous that we have so little time. A lot of work and a little bit of time, but it's been transformed every year, and it's been just beautiful. So I'm just hoping, and we'll be down there doing whatever we can. So I say we've got the approval. Let's go for it. Let's see what we can get done. And there's still some more work that I'm going to do now that I've know that we've come this far, as far as trying to get a little bit more interest down there. We'll just shy away from anything. Even if Santa's down there, we'll have it so that people can't approach him. You know, everything is going to be seen from afar. And if we have that premise, then I don't think there'll be any issues with the police chief moving forward with that approval. So Brandy, you don't think we can get that approval by the end of this week?
He's out of town until next week. So, but I'll just double check. And I'm still waiting for response from the traffic control person. So I don't know how long it's going to take for them. I would assume the next day or two, but.
Okay.
And he may have that assigned to the deputy chief. I'll confirm that. But yeah, as soon as I get the information that I need from the vendor, then absolutely I'm going to send it straight to both of them and then see what they say.
Okay. Well, that looks good. We'll just see what we can do. Actually, that said, we'll have traffic going up Sydney. So if we had something outside the museum, the gallery and museum, that could be kind of fun, because there'll be quite a bit of traffic going up Sydney to exit, and that would be just, maybe there can be something right there in front of the museum.
What are you thinking, Cindy?
How about a reindeer? Or I don't know. I'm not thinking anything. I'm just throwing spaghetti all over the place, right? Blow up something or another that I don't know.
Museum staff could stand in elf costumes and just wave.
For 3 hours, right? Out in the rain.
I'm just kidding, yeah.
And Rita's volunteering.
No, I was gonna say, it's easy to think of someone else, isn't it?
Well, maybe you've got an artist there who can draw something that would be kind of fun. That looks like a little house, like behind Kathy there, in her image. If you had something, I don't know. I'm just saying there would be a lot of traffic going by the museum, and it would be just a fun time to advertise, and a light just saying, guess what, come back another day, we got stuff in here. So you guys, I wish I had more answers. I don't. We'll just see how it goes. We'll be cleaning up for December 4th, and we'll keep these trees up, into January like we did last year. The tree in front of City Hall will be beautiful, and Public Works is going to be decorating everything we can. So I'm still looking for more decorations and lights and sources. So Kathy, I'm not done with that yet either. I'll be exploring if there's ways I can help you.
What is the day we can decorate the trees?
We can start decorating. Are they all downtown now? I haven't been downtown today yet, but.
The week of the 22nd, I think.
Oh, no, before then. No. We actually can start, the contest goes from November 8th through the 24th.
The trees?
Yeah,
So when can we decorate them then?
if they're in now,
This weekend.
yeah,
Okay.
starting now, and they'll be judged sometime between the 25th and the 28th. I've got to get that squared away with the date in there. The city tree is going to be put up the 15th to the 19th, somewhere in there, depending on weather and wind.
Cindy, can
Yes?
you give a report on how many trees you still have available?
Yes. Let me find that.
We got one in today, and with lots of that other planter, I show 20. So
20 left?
20 available?
yeah.
Okay. So we've sold over half.
And then on the flyer, it says that Public Works will be delivering the trees between November 1st and November 5th. And I think they go and get a handful, go get more, plant. So, this is, decorating can start the 6th through the 24th, but I'm sure as soon as
that tree is in there, they may not be plugged in for a bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because it says that we'll provide the extension cords. So I don't know if, I would say if the trees are planted and the extension cords are there, then you would be able to decorate.
Yeah.
If
Can you-
the extension cords aren't there, then you may have to have some, yeah, because it's gonna be hard for them to put oh, maybe not.
No, it isn't,
I don't
because
know.
if they've got the
Yeah.
trees in there. Yeah, they're working around the tree anyway.
So,
Okay.
hey,
You can go-
Brandy, is there
Mhm.
any chance you know which ones are available? Are there any available in front of Dragonfly?
Let me get my list too.
Thank you.
If you can tell me the numbers.
Of course not.
Let me get the
No.
map.
Um,
Here's the map.
I
Hold
think the
on.
last one on that block is 24, maybe.
The last one's
right here?
28.
Oh, 28?
Last one's 28,
Oh.
26 is gone. So
Sure.
Brandy, it would be
Right
from
here?
25.
24, 25, 25.
Yeah, that's the dragonfly. Brandy, are those sold?
So 23, 24, and 25 are all available.
Okay, I'll take 25. I'll send you another $50.
And the name?
The Port Orchard Historic Theater Foundation.
Good. So we're down to 19. And of those, I know at least 2 or 3 of those are going to be sold. So we're really getting down to 15-ish that still need to be sold, which I think will all be gone by the end of this week.
Yeah, I still need to get one for the library. I don't really care where it is. It just has to have power to it.
Okay. So another one for the library.
Yeah, you know what, when people see the trees going up like I saw today, that will spur people on.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
have you had anything on city Facebook page recently?
Janine's gone right now, and she's the one who does that. When will she be back, Randy?
Wednesday.
I'll just
Okay.
make-
Yeah, just send her an email and she'll get whatever just whatever, and she'll get it up Wednesday.
Okay, guys, yep, we'll have our big push starting then on Wednesday. So those trees will start scooting away. And we are asking everybody to please have lights this year.
Yes, please. I didn't like the ones that, I mean, I know there's no power to a couple of them, but there were
Right.
several who just didn't do lights.
Right, and it just makes for a great big gap.
Yep.
So we are asking that everyone do lights, and so we don't have those gaps.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
is nice to have the trees coming in. It really is. And so I'll be downtown, and there may be a few planters that are squished together in one area that will just spread out a little bit, but not too much. We're not going to make anyone angry with moving them too much.
I need to log off, but I know Kathleen's on here and Chris, but you know, I don't know if anybody told you we are doing the coloring sheets.
Oh, good. That's way cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, I'm not, yeah, Kathleen and a couple other people are taking care of them, or somebody, I can't remember.
Yeah, we'll go.
We've got it handled for you. Don't worry about
Yes,
it.
Yeah.
yes, so they've got it
Okay.
handled. So, yeah,
Okay. And we'll be getting materials to you probably by the end of the week or the beginning of next week with our actual route and information. So we'll create a spreadsheet of information for everyone. And we'll get this nailed down in these next few days.
And
Okay.
Cindy, we still have rocks that the royalty have done, and we've got 2 of our parents that are still painting on sand dollars. Are we going forward
Yes.
with any of that?
Yes, we're going to go ahead with the rocks and sand dollars. Yes. And Kareen, just
Yes.
want us kind of crazy time, but very sorry for your loss. I just saw in the paper.
oh, well, thank you. You know, it's a relief in a
It's-
lot of ways. He was in poor shape,
Yes.
really bad
Yes.
shape,
A
so,
long time of grieving. Those
yeah.
terrible.
Yes, but thank you, I
situations.
appreciate that, so.
So, all right, I know it's hard to get in the Christmas spirit, but
Oh, I don't
I
know.
think it'll
Hey,
be beautiful.
go to White Barn Decor in Belfair. You'll get in the Christmas spirit really fast.
Ah,
And,
okay.
and then after tomorrow, Josephine's will be transformed in revival. So, yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. And so all the people that aren't supposed to be grouping downtown will just show up one at a time, very discreetly. So we can see all this stuff.
Yep.
We're good.
All
Okay,
right.
so sounds good. And again, so we can get signed off by the police is we won't be doing the crowd gathering, but we do hope that people will be actually heading down to see the merchants and eating and all of that downtown. It's our big hope. So, all right, thank you very much. And we'll see you all soon.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.